let's dig in. All right, let's get into what is going down here, because the Fulton County DA put in place, so to speak, or at least heavily contributed to through various sources by way of George Soros. She has come forward and charged Donald Trump and 18 of his allies with a whole bunch of stuff, primarily racketeering. And this is a big deal, and it's very broad, and it went in place back in the 1970s in order to legally go after mobsters. The reason it's a problem is because it is so broad, and it gives her so much ability in some ways to just come up with stuff that really shouldn't be there. And when I say come up with stuff and really shouldn't be there, I mean, in other words, we really shouldn't be looking at any of this right now, because the way this is formulated, basically you can't ever contest an election. You can't say, hey, wait a second, like, I don't think that's right. I think I actually do have a shot in Georgia. You're not allowed to do that if this is going to hold. I mean, she's going after him for crazy stuff like retweets. He retweeted something from OANN, and suddenly that is now putting you in a criminal state. It's 98 pages. It goes on and on and on. A lot of it just really superfluous, as I said, with 91 charges total now for Donald Trump. That's 4 cases, everyone. 91 total charges all in when you count Fulton County, Georgia, in 2 different jurisdictions. You've got federal, you've got state, 4 different jurisdictions, forgive me, 2 federal, 2 state. This is like seriously out of control. Anyway, let me back up. Let's get into what this racketeering charge is. Again, 13 counts, 98 pages. And the biggie is this state RICO Act. So in Georgia, they have something, I mean, we have it pretty much in every state, and you have it federally as well. Interesting that, Jack Smith isn't using this, but it's the Racketeering, Influencing, and Corruption Act. And the reason they put this in place was because they used to want to go after mobsters. Well, it was kind of hard to go after mobsters because, you'd go after one guy and he's never going to rat out his boss. Like, he's totally afraid to. So they came up with this way through this very broad legal statute of going after sort of the middleman, right? Like somebody who's just kind of doing the paperwork, the white collar worker that happens to be working for the mob. They go after that person and they say, hey, you are going to be hit with serious charges. Like, you're going to go to jail forever for murder because we can link you to your, well, maybe it might be somebody even lower down, right? Like the hitman on the job. We can link you to somebody who did commit a crime. And so you have to turn on this person. And so they would all turn eventually, and then they turn against the top boss, and eventually you could take the whole lot of them down. And so this was a way to basically get people to flip. And so it was very effective in doing what it needed to do. But again, very broad. I mean, it's exactly, as a lawyer, I guess, what she should be doing. I'm going to give her a little bit of credit on that, because there's not so much credit to give. I mean, this woman, this is so honestly messed up that yesterday afternoon, I couldn't believe it. I was traveling home. I actually went live with a little video, not live. I taped a little video and I sent it out to you guys because it was outrageous what actually happened. They filed the indictment with the court on the website before anybody in the grand jury had actually even signed off on it. So before the judge had squat, they had this document already posted on their website. You want to talk Kangaroo Court? What is going on? Well, this woman had literally no explanation for it. This is Fani Willis, the DA in Fulton County, Georgia, who campaigned, mind you not, campaigned entirely on getting Trump. She's so delighted as like Rachel and Hillary, right? That she is now having her day out in the sun. Here's Fani Willis. When they ask her about what exactly happened, how is it that you would ever have an indictment that actually became public beforehand? Watch.
I am not an expert on clerks' duties or even administrative duties. I wouldn't know how to work that system, and so I'm not going to speculate. Next question.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I'm out of here. Not speculating on any of this. Please, let's move on. Let's move on. I don't know how how do you not know how it gets done? I mean, like, you don't know how the sausage gets made at all? Don't you typically say, okay, the judge signed off. We've got our grand jury indictment. Here it is, and hand it to the clerk. It sounds like, and I'm speculating here, it sounds like somebody handed it to the clerk ahead of time. And interestingly enough, it was like verbatim, exactly the same. So very, very, very strange stuff. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.